Welcome to Secrets to Alignment with Savannah Schaffer. I am here to equip you with the belief and energy to make your dreams a reality. Take this time to fill your cup and align with the most vibrant version of you. Hello, and welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. Happy Monday, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in this week for another episode. Can't believe that we're on episode 53. I feel like time is just flying. We are about to hit 1 year of the Secrets to Alignment podcast, and it is insane to me just to see the stats and the amount of listeners that we have reached. And I just feel this immense amount of gratitude for you guys filling your days with listening to me and deciding to click on my podcast out of all of the other podcasts you have access to. Like, you have no idea what that means for me, and just hearing all of your guys' incredible feedback has been so fulfilling. So thank you so much. I'm so excited for today's podcast episode. Today we are getting all into consistency, drive, and determination. These are 3 things that I think are so incredibly important on your path to success, whether you are wanting to build an incredible, successful business, a beautiful body, have a loving, caring, nurturing family, whatever area of life that you are wanting to have quote unquote success in. This episode is going to support you in that. I also wanted to touch on a little bit about compounding interest and how our consistency and showing up every single day, day after day after day, even though we may not see those results on the surface in a quick amount of time, it is always adding up to more than we could have ever imagined. And I think that that's such an important piece of this conversation. There are so many moments when we are continuously going after our goals and we are wanting to accomplish so much, but sometimes we can get really caught up in envisioning the future and constantly reminding ourselves of this vision that we have of where we want to go, but sometimes our actions on a daily basis are not in alignment with that. And I really want to just encourage you guys today to have the consistency, the drive, and the determination to show up for your goals on a daily basis. We don't always see how everything is going to unfold, and we may have these expectations that we want for things to happen, but the reality is that so much more can happen than we ever could have imagined. And I think that it is so important to be reminded of this, because that consistency, that drive, and that determination, those are the vehicles to get to the best place in your life that you could ever imagine. You must be willing to show up for your goals day after day after day and push through the moments where you maybe don't want to and you're tired and you're exhausted or you don't feel like going any further, knowing that if you continue to put in the work, you are going to get to the place that you want to go, and success, happiness, and so much fulfillment is on the other side of pushing through those hard moments. When you can remind yourself of that, it makes taking those baby steps so much easier, and it can literally change everything in your life. It is absolutely worth it. It is worth it to show up and to show out and show yourself what you're fucking made of, because you have so much more in you than you probably even know, that you probably haven't even touched yet. When you get focused and centered on where you're wanting to go, that drive will carry you through that. My best advice to you is to just keep your mindset focused on taking the next step. You don't have to think about the 10 steps ahead of you. And I know a lot of times we preach about having a clear vision, and I completely believe that having a clear vision is very, very important. But sometimes that clear vision may be very, very far out in the future, and it could be like a long-term goal that you have for yourself. And when you're only focused on the result and where you want to be, it can make taking those baby steps feel harder than it actually is, because you might not see the results right away. So if you can just be proud of yourself for putting one step in front of the other, for continuously taking baby steps and just continuously making the necessary moves to get closer to that long-term vision, that is what's most important. So just continue to take those one steps at a time and let that be enough for you, because it is enough. All you have to do is just move forward a tiny bit every single day or every single week. I think that it is so important to have checkpoints along the way to your long-term vision. So for example, my long-term vision is for me to be speaking on stages in front of tens of thousands of people. I have a huge vision for myself. And whenever I do meditations, visualizations, that is where I go. I always go to this stage that's just enormous with all these different lives that I'm impacting with how I'm speaking to them and inspiring them and motivating them and allowing them to move into action and take more action towards the place that they want to go. Now, my long-term vision, that could be, I don't know how long from now. It could be in 3 years from now. It could be 5 years from now. It could be 10 years from now. I'm not too sure. But what I do know is that if I can just continuously get into rooms where there's 5 people, where there's 10 people, where there's 20 people, where there's 50 people, where there's 100 people, I know that I'm getting closer to my long-term vision. If I can just continue to put the reps in of connecting with different people, if I can continue to show up on my podcast every single week and be touching more lives and sending my podcast maybe out to different people who throw events, I know that I'm going to be getting closer to that long-term vision for myself. And when we allow these baby steps to be enough, then we're actually moving the needle. We're actually getting to the place that we want to go. And although we're not at the end result, we know that we are putting in the reps, we are putting in the necessary work, and that gives you so much confidence. That gives you confidence in the vision that you do have for yourself, knowing I know that it's possible because I'm already making progress. But if we're not tracking that progress, or if we're only moving from one goal to the next and we're instantly saying to ourselves, what's next? Then that's where we can get into this mentality where we're almost chasing things external to us, and we're just trying to chase the next win, and not even being proud of how far we've come, not even taking a moment to acknowledge how incredible that experience was. I think that this is so important, and a lot of times we get so caught up in just hitting the next goal, hitting the next income goal, hitting the next rank, hitting the next whatever that it is for you, and we're not actually taking time to sit with ourselves and be fucking proud and celebrate and give ourselves a pat on the back. I think that's something that I've done so much in this last year, is celebrate myself. I celebrate myself as frequently as I can because I know I am doing the work. And a lot of times we can get so caught up in this long-term vision that we have for ourselves and it not being there quick enough that then we start to slow down and we start to self-sabotage. We start to put our goals in the back burner. We start to say, oh, you know what? Maybe now is not the right time. Maybe I should do that in the next few years. Or we just come up with all of these excuses as to why we don't need to focus on the thing that we truly desire. But the reality is that those desires are on your heart for a reason. The reason that you have that vision inside is for you to actually accomplish it. You would not have that vision if it weren't for you. Think about every person in your family, every person in the room that you're currently in, every person that is in these arenas. We all have different visions. We all have different impacts that we want to make. We all have different goals that we want to reach. And we would not have those goals if we were not meant to accomplish them. So get clear as you can on where you want to go and what steps need to be put into action today, this month, this week, whatever that it is, so that you can continue to move forward and continue to see the success that you desire. When you have that sense of determination, you will continue to move forward regardless of what happens, what people say. You will know with everything in you that you desire that thing, and there will be nothing that stops you in your path. And I think that this is a part that there's always going to be people who are going to talk down on you, who are not going to like what you're doing, who are going to talk shit, that are not going to support whatever. And it could be the people that you are closest with, it could be people that you haven't talked to in years, but people will always have something to say. And I personally have found that the more success that I have had or that my clients have had, the more people want to talk. And I allow that to be an indicator of me doing the right thing instead of it creating this negative thought pattern of like, no one likes me or no one wants to hear me or whatever the fuck my mind could come up with. Instead of allowing that to be the pathway that I choose to go down, I choose to stand in the place that I'm currently at and say, you know what, if I have haters, if I have someone telling me that I'm doing something stupid or that I'm not doing good enough in X, Y, and Z area, I'm gonna choose to allow that to fuel my fucking fire and go after it even harder. I do not care. If you guys knew, honestly, I've never talked about this, but if you guys knew the kinds of messages and the input that I have received on what I share on social media, and honestly, like some scary threats too, like some weird fucking things, like people are funny. If you guys were to see, like, I feel like it would take down a lot of people, like, truly. I feel like the kinds of comments and the videos that have been made about me, the amount that people have, like, talked about me in the last 7 years of sharing my life online, a lot of people would say, you know what, this isn't for me and I'm not cut out for this, and they would fucking fumble. And me, I'm like, nah. That means I'm doing something right. So allow all the noise that everyone else is giving to you, all of the people who are talking shit, to be shown through the success that you achieve, that you know what the fuck you're doing and you always have, and you are exceptional. Because the reality is, if you're listening to this podcast, I know you already are. I know that you're someone who wants more for yourself. I know that you're someone who wants to fucking crush it in every single thing that you do. I know that you want to make a positive impact on the world, and I know that you want to change not only your reality, but many realities around you. So continue to show up regardless. Have that determination, and know that every single time that you continuously show up in that power and knowing that you are doing exactly what you need to do, you are persevering through every single moment, you are going to absolutely blow your mind with the places that you are able to go with that mentality. Because having that consistency and showing up every single day, having that drive to just keep fucking going even when you don't want to, and having that determination that absolutely nothing will slow you down, you will continue to show up, those three things can change your entire reality. If you decide to go down that path, if you decide to stop giving yourself excuses, if you decide to cut out the bullshit, cut out the noise, and just keep moving forward, because you have a duty, you have a responsibility. Every single one of us who are listening to this podcast, we are meant to make an impact. You guys might have a different vision than I do, but we are all meant to shine as brightly as possible and make an impact, whether that's on the kids that we have, the people who are around us, the family that we have, whatever. We are all here to do great things. And I want to just encourage you to step into your power, to show up whatever goals and aspirations and ambitions that you have, to take action and to not slow down until you get to that point where you say, I have fucking made it. And even then, you continue to put your foot on the gas, impact more lives, go above and beyond, and make yourself even more proud. So often we decide that we don't want to continue going forward because we're not seeing the fruits of our labor quick enough. And what's wild is it takes so much longer for these types of things to take off. The things that you have set in your mind, they're not going to just take a year. They're not going to take a couple months. They're not going to take even a couple years. They're probably going to take a lot of time for you to actually get to the place that you want to go. And you need to be willing to be freaking okay with that. Be okay with knowing that every single thing that you want is on the other side of you pushing through, of you going through the moments where you do experience failure, where you're not as excited about your goals, where you question yourself and you're feeling all these different emotions and you're wondering, what could I be doing better, or what am I doing wrong, or whatever. Like, all of that is part of the process. Those are the necessary lessons for you to learn so that you can accomplish these things. If success was easy, everyone would be extremely successful. Success is not supposed to be easy. It may be simple, but it is not easy. It is going to challenge you in many ways, whether that's success in your relationship, success in your home life, success in your business, success as a mother, as a father. Whatever that it is, it's not going to be easy. Accept that and decide that I am going to push through no matter fucking what, because I know that on the other side of this is me being extremely proud of myself, is me saying, oh my gosh, I actually did everything that I told myself I was going to. Because again, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to show yourself what you're made of. And along the way, you're going to inspire so many other people to continue to show up for themselves. You're going to inspire so many people to actually go after the things that they desire, because you've shown them that it's possible. You've shown them that even with all of the trials and the tribulations, you've still got to where you wanted to be. And no matter what that person is experiencing, now they have proof that they can do it too. And what's so beautiful about us having this consistency, this drive, and this determination is that the impact that we make, it might be just like one-to-one. Maybe we're like talking in a conversation, or maybe we're noticing that people are paying attention to what we're saying on social media, whatever that it is. When you start to notice that you're making an impact, I want you to actually think about the impact that goes so much further than just that one interaction. Every single time that you inspire one person, you have the ability to inspire thousands of people just through that one interaction. And I think that is the most cool thing ever. It's the butterfly effect. It's the domino effect, that once you impact one person's life, now that's going to impact the lives around them. That's going to impact the kids around them. That's going to impact the generations to come, just by you having that one conversation or having them make that one realization. So imagine just how far you can create such a beautiful wave of inspiration, of light, of positivity in this world by you being the most inspired, light, and positive version of yourself. You have no idea how many more lives are meant to be impacted by you right now. So continue to show up, continue to cut the excuses, give yourself the time, and put in the necessary work to accomplish everything that you've always desired, because you deserve it. You are worthy of the things that you've always dreamt of having. And I cannot wait to witness you in the most successful era of your life. I am so fucking proud of you. Go take some action on your long-term vision, and let me know if there's absolutely anything in this podcast that resonated with you. I am here for you. I appreciate you for being here, and I cannot wait to see you next Monday. Bye, guys.